hello. Since many of you are quite new to this game, and by quite new I mean literally none of you have played it before, I thought I'd take a moment to make a short tutorial video on the baseline mechanics of how to move your character out of the way. I'll be making different videos on how to do specific roles and how to do specific jobs, but this video will just be how to control your character, how to interact with the world. So the core of it is you have two hands and you're using one or the other at all times, and whichever hand you're on, you can press X, by the way, to swap which hand you're on. You can click on them, you can hit swap. Usually I just do X, it's a lot faster, is the one you're going to be interacting with things with. Like, for example, it's WASD to move, which is pretty standard for a video game. So if I've got my right hand and I want to interact with something like this locker, for example, and I click on it, use my right hand to open it. If I want to pick something up, I'll click on that thing and it goes into my right hand. Notably, now that I have something in my right hand, if I click on something, I'm going to use that object on the other object. Right now I'm just kind of mindlessly smacking this breath mask into the locker. If I want to pick up another thing, I have to swap to an empty hand and pick something up. I've got another breath mask. So usually you want to keep your hands empty so you can pick things up, and if you want to use something, you put it in the hand, select the hand that you want to use, and then click on the object that you want to use the thing in your hand on. For example, if I use something on an empty locker or a table, it will place that thing inside of the locker or the table. If I've got an empty hand and I click on the locker, it will close it. That is how you interact with things, pick things up. That is the core mechanics that you will do 99% of everything in this game. Okay, so the next thing to know about are the 4 different intent modes your character can be in at any given point. These are these things here. Depending on what intent mode you're in, you will interact with objects differently. Now, that may seem like it's very complex, but it's actually very simple. Just stay in this green help mode, and 90% of everything except combat you will be completely fine with. But there are some niche situations where the other 3 intent modes are required, so I'll go over them. The help mode will just, if you click on someone, you don't harm them, you just hug them. If you're in the disarm mode, click on someone, and if they've not got anything in your hands, you'll just push them to the ground. Oh, let's try and kill them now. But usually if they have something in their hands, it'll prompt them to drop what's in their hands. So like if they have a weapon, you can try and pick it up. The grab mode, that's that one. You'll grab them, if I can get up, and various things, and once you grab them you can pull them around, do various things with them. And then the harm mode is when you hit them. Notably, actually I'll say that for the security tutorial, you don't need to know about how to use stun batons if you're not security. Okay, so the next thing to note is that everyone in the game has a backpack, and a backpack is a storage item. And there are many storage items in games. There are bags, there are boxes, there are backpacks, there are probably plenty I'm forgetting, and they all operate in more or less the same way. Now, to use a storage item, you have your hand empty, and you click on the storage item, and it gives you a list of what it has, and you can take your stuff from that storage. To put something into a storage item, you have something equipped in a hand, and you click on the storage item. To get the backpack into your hand, obviously you can't click it because that just opens and closes it. You click, you hold down, you drag it. It's pretty simple. The other thing to note is that your character has clothes and stuff equipped onto their body. you press this button here to open and close it. You click on an item and it goes with an empty hand. It goes into your hand. You can use items on other items. Usually it does nothing though. Like the big meme is that it takes a degree in Space Station 13 to figure out how to light a cigarette whilst it's in your mouth. I'm not sure anyone here would be interested in doing that, but it's a needlessly complicated procedure and doesn't actually do anything. But yeah, you have an inventory, you can do stuff with it. Most important thing to note is probably the headset, because that is a very important item. Different pieces of equipment can usually do different things, but usually they're just clothing. There's like some hard suits that, like, if you're in engineering, you might need to use to get into depressurized areas. Other than that, it's pretty simple. Okay, so the next thing I want to cover is one of the most important mechanics in Space Station 13, which are the comms. This is the economy of information which the game is more or less built upon. So I accidentally didn't capture this small bar here on the other parts of the video, and I realised that before I started recording this one. But yeah, there's a bar here which you can type in, and generally all you're going to use this bar for is to talk. So if I say hello, my character says hello, and people I'm not sure how exactly far away it is, but if you're close to my character, if your character is close to my character, and I say hello, you can see it say hello, and it'll also list here that I've said hello. However, you cannot hear what I'm saying if you're further away, but the space station is very big, and you usually will not be right next to everyone, so we have comms. So if I'm wearing a comm device, and I want to say something that everyone will hear, I do say. I add this little thing here, then I type my message. Then everyone around me will be able to hear it say it, because my character is physically saying it into the mic. And then everyone who's wearing a headset with access to the common channel, and all headsets do have access to the common channel, will hear me say my message. Now, it gets a little more complicated, as this is the captain's headset, by the way. There are some private channels. The captain's headset has access to all of the private channels, but usually you will only have access to the common channel and to the channel of your division. So if you're security, that would be that for security. I do the colon and the S to signify that I want to be talking on the security private comms, and I type my message. Only people who have access to the security channel on their headsets, or have a security headset, will hear my message. So, for example, if I'm a officer and I don't know, I'm chasing someone, and they say, I think he's going around that corner, I'm going to set a trap for him or something, I don't know, and you don't want him to know, but you do want the rest of the people in your division to know, you can say in security comms, and then only the people in your division will know this information that you're trying to share. Also, it keeps the chat box less spammed. There's less. I mean, that's not going to be an issue because we're only going to have like a couple people playing on the server. It's not going to be like 50 people. There are some servers with 50 people, and this is just scrolling all over the place. But yeah, that is how comms work. Okay, so one final note about this game is that it's very good throwing a lot of information at you all at once. There's a lot of stuff going on in the game. It's a big area. You can't see everything all at the same time. You don't really know what everything is, especially when you first play the game, but I don't know what half this stuff is either. Just keep in mind, a lot of the information that the game throws at you is completely useless, or well, not useless, but empty information, in the sense that it's not going to affect you. If something in the game is going to affect you, you'll be aware of it. But if you're just running around and you see a bunch of stuff and you're like, oh my goodness, I have no idea what any of this is, don't worry, you don't need to, most likely. I'll be making videos on how to do your job, or how to do your role on the station, and in those videos I will cover all the items and all the mechanics that you need to worry about. But it is really important to just go into the game with the proper expectations that this is not a game you can really understand everything that's going on at any given time. That would be very difficult to do, and to just focus on the information that is relevant to you in any given moment. That is actually one of my favourite parts of the game, because it's very realistic in that sense. In real life, you're never going to understand everything that's going on at any given time. In real life, you have to focus on only the information relevant to what you're trying to do. So, thank you for watching this tutorial video. I hope everyone will be able to sort out getting a hold of the game. It's a free game. I'll walk you guys through it. I'll probably make another video on how to set up the Beyond client and how to get connected to the server. In fact, I will be doing that, so don't worry about that. But I hope everyone is looking forward to playing some Space Station 13.